Now I mentioned at the beginning, you need to recognize the obvious lies and deceits that the key figures in high positions deceive you with. The universe is not a place of darkness whatsoever, but a world of blue waters of air. The sun is not a physical mass exploding like a nuclear reactor, it is a non-physical world that gives life to this physical world. Lastly, the airs in this world are obviously dark as can be seen for half of the day, and even in light, the airs in a room become dark again by shutting curtains. Darkness of outer space is a figment of human concepts. Your first clue is when astronomers actually suggest they have found a black hole in outer space, a place they claim is darkness. How does one find a black circle on a black wall? No discussions, no need to hear from the liars, they can shut the anus between the cheeks on their face before they attempt to deceive again with theorem and calculations, conceived in deceit. And the best one yet, Rayleigh scattering. This is where they claim diffusion of airs makes the sky blue. There are a few other lies inside this world, a world that is simply put, filled with lies from door to door. You have heard about the pyramids in Egypt, and leave it to the paid liars in government departments and media, to tell you what they tell you about outer space, and flying vehicles that defy explanation. More lies. Why do humans who naturally lie expect a group of humans who are paid to lie to give them the truth? First of all, I will tell you the caverns deep below the pyramids in Egypt lead to very sophisticated underground cities, much as the Mayan pyramids lead to underground cities, but this is not being told to you. The world is a place of deceit, and the worst part is sometimes mysteries are revealed by opening your eyes. Some still wonder in amazement at the construction of Egyptian pyramids, and all I can say is if a little man can do it, so can a big group of technologically advanced beings assist in the development. Take a look sometime at Edward Leedskalnin, a United States immigrant who single-handedly built a monument known as Coral Castle in Florida. This one little man built a monolithic structure by himself with knowledge of magnetic fields. You have all been told there are two magnetic poles from the north and the south, and both continents are uninhabitable. How many human beings have ever ventured to the South Pole and asked along the way, if the weather gets warmer the more south you venture, then why out of the blue does the Antarctica suddenly become a place where hell freezes over? The answer is because they do not want you there, the same reason in the North Arctic, which as well has some unique features like fields of green. According to Admiral Richard Byrd, who received his own monument for service, a world within the world exists over the North Pole. A world within where the skies receive light, but the beacons of the sun are not seen, and it is a world of technical advanced wonders. Yes, there are actually other continents that share advanced species along with the human race inside this world, and for the most part, humans are not welcome. They know the nature of a human being. Although the North and South continents are a mystery of secret locations, they are easy to understand when you understand the mystery of the Devil's Sea or the Bermuda Triangle. Ships and planes entering strange vortexes of air or clouds, and suddenly their magnetic instrumentation fails and they see no signs of the sun, and as you know in most cases, they simply vanish. It is internal policy not to let those who find the way in back out, to share this wealth of information with other humans. This is simply because human beings have a history of invading other continents at the expense of the beings they attack. The vortexes of air pockets existing between the external surface and the internal underworld can be found throughout lands, seas and the airs. The reason the magnetic instruments fail as reported, is because they no longer are traveling above the surface of this world, they are below the surface. Simply put, magnetic instruments work above the surface because the fields are not really north and south, but are below and above you. Magnetic fields change all the time. Human concepts of a north and south pole magnetic shift is just that, human concepts. Moving from magnetics to geometry, and the fascination of crop circles. I hate to burst the bubble, but once again, no space aliens are coming to this world to make these presentations. The designers are terrestrial or subterrestrial if this helps. What about the origins of these amazing designs? Euclid's Elements was designed a few thousand years ago teaching the mathematical wonders of geometry. Sacred geometry follows pattern in the construction of religious structures. Geometry played important roles in the Greco-Roman ages. In the 1st century, one of the Roman Empire conquests was Britain, later to be known as Great Britain. This is the country that became the umbilical cord of Canadians, formed by the British North American Act of 1867. The United States as well maintains a high level of Roman and British influence in their governance today. However, Great Britain was highly influenced in culture after the conquest by the Roman Empire. As known through history during the Renaissance of the early 1500s, Romans were despised and the Catholic Church was a subject of concern, as priests were indulging in immoralities as favors before God, and commoners were rebelling. Even in those days, an artist named Hieronymus Bosch painted a masterpiece referred to as the Garden of Earthly Delights. In the painting, he depicted the devil as the Lord in the garden with Adam and Eve. No human has ever made the point that the original dark pieces of hair on the forehead and chin have been painted over, and the longer bottom portion of hair is a different color than the top of the hair, in an attempt to freshly repaint the face of the man today known as Jesus. However, Bosch lived in the days of Roman artists such as Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. So, whomever painted the face of Jesus over the face of the devil, overlooked a few inconsistencies before they paid him. As for Great Britain, in the early 1200s the famed Cosmati floors were designed in the high altar of Westminster Abbey with sacred geometrical coding. The Cosmatis were a Roman family, 7 members of which, for 4 generations, were skillful architects, sculptors and workers in decorative geometric mosaic, mostly for church floors. Today, the vast majority of the crop circle imprints are seen with sacred geometrical symbols, with astronomical values and even scientific codes embedded within. Ironically, the vast majority of these crop formations are in Great Britain, now known as the United Kingdom. Simply put, these are creations in the night form to be visible in full detail from the sky, no different than the strange Nazca lines in Peru are recognized from the sky. I will be blunt, the codes are designed between a provider and a receiver and are private understandings between different beings inside the world. Once again, if your car is vandalized, you do not assume the vandal came from another continent. As said before, when one sees flying craft in the air, the first clue is the craft or the crop circle is here, in this world, not beyond. Just as there are different people with different eye patterns and skin tones on the surface, do not think the teal-skinned humanoids below are isolated. There is another race, much like the human race, who also exist below the surface and exist to the north. The one genus species which are now today being mistaken for some space aliens have been interacting on behalf of other races below the surface for thousands of years. This might explain the strange crop circle in the fields of Great Britain formed in 2002, where the face of a one gena offers a message in binary code which read, "Beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. There is good out there. We oppose deception." Conduit closing. It is safe to say that not all species are in agreement with the princes of the world below, who are playing gods with their test tube creations on the surface, all along. Now, I may have a few enemies after this video, well, a lot of enemies, and some may suggest this is the Antichrist, and I can only respond by once again using the verses I never wrote. 1 John, chapter 2, verse 18, "Little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now are there many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time." As you can see, there were many Antichrists in the day this was written, so all I can say is maybe I am one of the many who do not believe the lies in Christianity.